What is going on YouTube? It's your boy Spanko, and today I'm back, as you guys can see here, with the Orcust deck profile that I showed off to you guys the other day. Now pretty much what I wanted to do for this video is show you guys some test hands and show you guys some combos that you could do with this deck. This deck is insane, I'm telling you. It could be one of the top tier decks in the upcoming format because with the inclusion of mekk-knight, Orcust, Girsu, there's so much consistency in this deck. And then obviously we all know dual overload with the addition of Lib and the addition of needle fiber and even the addition of union carrier makes this deck very powerful and very strong. Now before I get into this video though, I'd like to ask if you guys want to check out my new Instagram page, Spanko Sales. I'll put it up on the screen somewhere. Every purchase you guys make on Spanko Sales helps support the channel. Also, if you guys want anything special like the card signed or the sleeve signed, let me know because I could do that for you guys as well. So without further ado, here's the deck profile. I did show it off before and I went in depth as to why I play what I play. So if you guys want to check it out, the video is going to be on the channel already. I think it was like last week or maybe the week before. You guys can check it out. Pretty recent though. I'll link it in the description there as well. I should mention Spanko Sales is also going to be linked in the description if you guys want to check that out. And so pretty much we're just going to get into some test hands. So here's the deck profile. 41 cards in the main deck. The only thing that I was iffy about is the Buster Destruction Sword. We still playing it for now. It needs some more testing. We'll see where it goes from here. But it's the only thing that I'm kind of concerned about. Alright, so without further ado, let's get into our first test hand right here. And right off the bat, you guys can see we open Monster Reborn, we open Scrap Recycler, Orchestrated Return, as well as Nightmare with a Call by the Grave. So pretty much our combo is going to go through with this Call by the Grave. But I'm going to show you guys, actually I'm going to show you guys the full potential of this hand. What I wanted to do is originally I just wanted to show you guys the one card Scrap Recycler combo. But the full potential of this hand is actually insane. So what you're going to do is you're going to actually Orchestrated Return, send your Nightmare, draw 2 cards. You drew an Ash Blossom, so that's even better. So on your opponent's turn, next turn, you're going to be safe because you have that Ash Blossom. So what you're going to do is you're going to normal summon your Scrap Recycler and activate its effect to send a Mecha Phantom Beast Olion. So the reason you send Olion here is because you're going to get a token off of the Olion effect. And what the token's going to let you do with the Scrap Recycler is go into your Scrap Wyvern. So 1, 2 into Scrap Wyvern right here. What you're going to do next is you're going to activate the Scrap Wyvern effect to special summon your Scrap Recycler from your graveyard, in defense position, doesn't matter, and then you're going to destroy your Scrap Recycler, and then what you're going to do is you're going to activate your Scrap Wyvern again to special summon your Scrap Golem from your deck. Now Scrap Golem is an insane card because it's an auto once per turn, and then now the card you're going to destroy is the Scrap Wyvern because you don't need that anymore. You're going to activate your Scrap Golem, summon back your Scrap Recycler right here, summon to your side of the field, and then activate Scrap Recycler again because Scrap Recycler is not a once per turn either. And then now you're going to send, we do have already a Nightmare in the graveyard. We can send a, if we want to push this hand as far as possible, we can actually send a Brass Bombard so that we can special the Symbol Skeleton. So I think we're going to do that. So we're going to send the Brass Bombard. So we're not going to activate the Brass Bombard yet. What we're going to actually do first is we're going to make an IP Masquerena. So IP Masquerena right over here. Now what we can do is we can start going into our combos. Now obviously you guys could have gone into Lib here, but actually with this hand you don't even need to go into the Lib. Because what you can do first is you can actually just activate your Nightmare, target your IP, doesn't even matter, and then summon or send actually your World Wand. Then what you're going to want to do is you're going to activate your World Wand, summon your Nightmare right here. Then what you can do is activate the Brass Bombard that's in your graveyard to summon your Symbol Skeleton. So now you have your IP and you don't even need that right now. So then what you can do, super simple, is you can make your Galatea with your Nightmare and your Symbol. Once your Galatea is summoned, pretty much what you're going to do is you're going to activate your Orcust Symbol Skeleton, special summon back your Nightmare. And the reason for that is because now once you make your Dingirsu, you're going to want to equip the Symbol Skeleton. You're going to activate your Galatea effect and then put back your World Wand now into your deck. And then you can set an Orcust Spell Trap. You're going to set your Babel, of course, here so that you can play on your opponent's turn. You can activate your Babel. Now what you can do is you can make the Dingirsu over your Galatea. Doesn't matter where you make it. So right over here is perfectly fine. Activate its effect, yes. And you can actually attach your Symbol Skeleton right here. So now under your Dingirsu, you have your Symbol Skeleton as well as your Galatea. And when pretty much with this board, you can actually just pass here. You can actually set your Call by the Grave. So like, well, let's say we just set the Call by the Grave. Because now what you can do on your opponent's turn, you can actually keep extending with Monster Reborn, but you don't even need that right now. What you can do on your opponent's turn is you can actually make a Link 4 with IP, your Dingirsu as well as your Nightmare. And then you can make your Apollo on your opponent's turn with 4 negates. So now you're going to have Apollo with 4 negates. Then on your opponent's turn, you're going to obviously be able to continue to play because you have Symbol Skeleton, which can summon back the Dingirsu and send a card they control. And then you also have Nightmare, which can send your Gizmek-Orochi into your graveyard. So now on your following turn, you have your Monster Reborn to extend your board essentially, and then you can activate Gizmek-Orochi to go for game. So that's just a first turn board right there. IP, Dingirsu, as well as Nightmare. Now obviously you could have gone for Lib and searched the World Legacy Succession, but you actually I don't think needed that for this combo. Plus you have a Call by the Grave as disruption. You also have an Ash Blossom as disruption, so your opponent's pretty much not going to be playing out their turn, and then you're just going to follow up to OTK them. So with that being said, let's get into our second test hand. So with our second test hand right here, we opened the mekk-knight Orcust Girsu. So I could actually show you guys this combo right here. So what you're going to do is you're going to normal summon your mekk-knight Orcust Girsu. You're going to activate the effect. And what you're going to do is you're going to send the Orcust Nightmare from your deck to your graveyard. Then you're going to activate Girsu to put a token on your side of the field as well as a token on your opponent's side of the field. You're going to make the token into a Link Karibo because unfortunately you can't use a token for Galatea. So you make your Link Karibo, you link 2 here into your Galatea, right over there. You can activate now your Nightmare, target your Galatea, doesn't really matter, and send your World Wand from your deck. Activate your World Wand to summon back your Orchestrated Nightmare. This is just a simple 1-card combo. As you guys can see, the other cards in our hand are completely dead. I guess Orochi is not necessarily dead, but the other cards are kind of dead and like we can't really play with them. So this is why mekk-knight Orcust Girsu is so strong, because just that 1 card makes this entire board. Now what you can do is you can actually just activate your Galatea, put back your World Wand. Now because you already have your Babel in your hand, what you can actually do to extend here in this kind of case is you can actually just set your Orchestrated Return, because now you can actually send the Nightmare in your hand to draw 2 free cards. Now obviously we drew a Cyclone and Jet Synchron, which still aren't that great for us, but it doesn't matter because we already drew our Babel. Now obviously if you didn't draw Babel, you would activate your Babel, you wouldn't get Return, but because we had the Babel already, we go for this play. Then what you're going to do is simply just make a Dingirsu. Now obviously we have nothing banished for Dingirsu here, right? But that's perfectly fine. Doesn't matter where you make the Dingirsu, by the way, it just makes a Dingirsu. You can actually activate it now to send that token to the graveyard, because now your opponent is not playing with that token that they can make into a Link Karibo or they can combo off with. So you just send it to the graveyard. You link 2 here, you make an IP Masquerena, so you make IP. Then what you're going to do is you're just going to activate your Babel. And then in this case, you can just set your Cosmic Cyclone right here. So the reason you end on this board is because what you're going to do on your opponent's turn is you're going to activate your Nightmare. Nightmare is going to send your Symbol Skeleton. Symbol Skeleton can summon back your Dingirsu, so that's 1 disruption right there. So Dingirsu is going to send a card they control to the graveyard. And then you can use IP as well as the Dingirsu to make your Nightmare Unicorn, which can also send another card your opponent controls to the graveyard. Actually, shuffles it back into the deck. So you're basically sending 1 to the graveyard, shuffling 1 back to the deck with Unicorn, and then obviously you can discard any of these. It doesn't really matter what you discard. And then back now on your turn, you also have the Cyclone in this case, but now back on your turn, what you can do is you can summon your Gizmek-Orochi. It depends on what you draw for turn, you can play off of that. You also have your Jet Synchron that can be in your graveyard, because if you discarded this for something like the Gizmek-Orochi, you can discard your Scrap Golem, summon back your Jet Synchron, and then even make a Needle Fiber play right there. So pretty much this I wanted to show you guys that even a simple board just like this with 1 mekk-knight Orcust Girsu, there was no other cards that were even relevant in our hand, right? Other than maybe a Babel, but it doesn't really make that much of a difference. So pretty much with 1 Orcust Girsu, you can end on this board without any trouble, really. So we're going to go into one more test hand, and we'll press restart right here, go into one more test hand, and I'm not going to play out this hand because this hand is the exact same as our last hand. Our Nightmare, this is a horrible hand if you think about it. This is a bad hand, but just because of mekk-knight Orcust Girsu, you have full combo. So this is what I want to show you. I don't have to play this hand out because it's the same exact combo, and I don't want to show you guys the exact combo again, but I want to show you that even when you open a hand that looks like this, that looks so poor, it's actually a very consistent hand. And that's why I think Orcust is actually very low-key underrated, because just with the addition of this card, the deck is super consistent. So we'll press restart one more time and see if we can open something else. See, now we're just showing you guys the 1-card Scrap Recycler combo, and I'm actually going to show you this one because this one I'll actually make Lib. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to normal summon your Scrap Recycler, activate your Scrap Recycler effect, and you are going to send a Jet Synchron here. So the reason you send Jet Synchron, or you can actually send Mecha Phantom Beast Lion since we didn't open it. So we're going to actually send Mecha Phantom Beast Lion, get the token to summon the token right over here. Now once the token is summoned, what you're going to do is we can make Scrap Wyvern with these 2, and then activate the Scrap Wyvern effect. So this is the same Scrap combo as before. You're going to summon your Scrap Recycler here, and then pop your Scrap Recycler. Scrap Wyvern is going to activate, and you are going to summon your Scrap Golem. and then you're going to destroy your scrap wyvern because you want your golem on your side of the field essentially. You can activate your scrap golem here, same as the scrap combo from before, but this one's just going to end off on a little different board than the one we did before. So we can activate our scrap recycler here to actually send our world wand. So now that world wand's in the graveyard, you can actually trigger its effect because you have a world wand in your hand. So I guess in this case, since we're doing a test hand, I'll do that. But realistically, if you don't have a second world wand in your hand, it's perfectly fine because you just need it so you can make your lib. But I guess in this case, we can actually make this. Now you can make your lib right here with your scrap recycler as well as your scrap golem. You can activate lib effect to search your succession. We already opened succession. So realistically, if you didn't open succession, you activate this to search your succession. But now because we already have succession, we can activate succession, summon back scrap golem, and then once golem is summoned back, you can actually activate this effect again and get scrap recycler again. Because like I said earlier, scrap recycler is not a once per turn effect. And now that you summon back your scrap recycler, what you can do here very simply is send your Orcust Nightmare. Alright. So now what you can do, because you actually have this world wand already on your field, just because we opened this kind of hand, you can actually do something really spicy and make a Union Carrier here. Now once you make Union Carrier, you can actually activate Union Carrier effect, target your World Legacy World Wand, so that you can activate your Dragon Buster Destruction Sword. How insane is that? So while this card is equipped to a monster, your opponent cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck while this card is equipped. How insane. So now you locked your opponent out of their extra deck on top of the combo that you're about to make. What you can do now is you can activate Nightmare. Target, doesn't matter really what you target. You can target your lib, doesn't really matter here, to send your Symbol Skeleton. You're going to activate your World Wand in your graveyard, summon back your Nightmare right here. What you can do now is you can link, so because this card is equipped to Buster Dragon, you actually don't want to use this card anymore. So what you can do now, very simply, is you can use Orcust Nightmare as well as Keyblade Master to make your Galatea. Alright, now you can activate Lib's effect. Now obviously your opponent doesn't have anything on their side of the field, and you don't really want to shuffle anything back to your side of the field. So what you can do instead is you're just not going to activate the Lib effect, but when this card is sent to the graveyard, if it's link summoned, you can actually shuffle a card from the field back into the deck. Now obviously we're not going to do that for this case. I guess if you wanted, you can shuffle back a Union Carrier because you don't really need it anymore, but we're just not going to activate the effect there. You pretty much just need the Lib effect to search World Legacy Succession, but because we already opened Succession, we actually didn't need to even use that effect. So what you're going to do now is you're going to activate your Symbol Skeleton that's in your graveyard to special summon back your Orcust Nightmare, and you're going to set that, you're going to summon it in defense position, doesn't really matter. Activate your Galatea, put back your World Wand into your deck, and then search your Babel here. So now Babel is going to get searched, and then you're going to activate the Babel, and then what you're going to do is you're going to just make your Dingirsu right here over top of your Galatea. You make your Dingirsu, activate the Dingirsu effect, and you're going to activate it to attach your Symbol Skeleton back to the Dingirsu, and then with the Nightmare as well as the Dingirsu, you're going to make IP Masquerena right over here. So this is your end board. Obviously now you have a Cosmic Cyclone, so let's say you set the Cosmic Cyclone and you have a DD Crow for disruption. But right here, look how insane that board is. You're locking your opponent out of their extra deck, which I literally said at the beginning of the video, I don't know how much I needed this, and like in testing, I was like, I don't know how I feel. Just making this play right here, you can see how insane and how strong it is, because what happens now is you have IP as well as Union Carrier to make a Link 4 on your opponent's turn. So pretty much what you can make is you can make an Apollo with 2 negates. If they somehow are going to out this through some kind of means, you can use the IP plus the Union Carrier plus this to make a 3 negate Apollo instead of a 2 negate Apollo. What you can also do on your opponent's turn is you activate your symbol to summon back your Dingirsu. Dingirsu is going to send another card that they control to the graveyard. So you're playing with so much disruption, not to mention the freaking DD Crow that we still have in our hand. You're playing with so much disruption as well as just completely locking them out of their extra deck. That is insane. So thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you guys think of Orcust, this format. I think it's actually a very underrated, low-key, a very underrated deck. Like, I know people talk about it, but I still feel like it's a very underrated deck just because look at these kind of boards that I can make. And this was pretty much done with one Scrap Recycler, and then because we had the World Legacy World Wand in your hand. If you don't have World Wand in your hand, you just don't finish with the Buster, but if you open something like Monster Reborn, you could finish with the Buster still. So you see what I mean? So with an extra extender, you could finish with this board still, and that's how strong it is. So if you guys think it's underrated, if you guys think it's good, let me know in the comment section down below. If you guys enjoy these test hands and these combo videos, let me know by liking this video and subscribing to the channel. Again, check out Spanko sales for all your TCG card needs. And with that, guys, Spanko signing out. Peace.
My hands steady, I feel ready, but my legs heavy, I don't get it. How come I haven't hit it already? ready, still working, I'm still learning, I'm still searching, finally earning something, finally turning something called a profit. If I hear you talking shit, don't get caught in it. I'll be popping off and hit your ass, dropping all your shit. Yeah, I promise this, I got promises, you ain't stopping this, cross my shit.